this first ordinance that we've got in new business, an ordinance amending ordinance 219, ordinance 205, step and steg system shall be the responsibility of the private property owner. And what we've got here, we've like up at Lincoln City, we've got some brochure from Lincoln City about these step systems, and DEQ is basically taking control of those step systems up there because it's around Wohink Lake. And on those step systems up there, they have to get them inspected, or they have to get them pumped every 5 years. If you have a property or a home and you sell it, each time that house is sold, they have an inspector come out. He inspects that step system because they're worried about the groundwater stuff. So, and then also he's got if you have a rental, every time a renter moves, and you have to have that inspected. And so I was talking with our engineer, and he said we should have all of our step systems inspected so we'll know if they're operating right. So basically what he's saying is that if we do the step system, we've got 81 step systems in the city. If we do them like they're telling us that we have to do them, the city cannot afford to do that. Because you know what it's going to entail? We're going to have to hire an extra person that is a licensed electrician to do these step systems, and he's going to have to continually make sure they're being maintained, they're working properly, and all that type of stuff. And we, you know, the step systems are a great thing. I still don't understand, and I don't know if there's a contract. I can't find one in the city records where they made a contract that the city was going to take these step systems and support them forever. But those systems will break the city the way they're going right now.
There's an older ordinance for that. I read it this afternoon.
Okay.
And Mr. Foley has it. Dick Foley has it. And unfortunately, he's too sick to be here tonight.
Yeah.
But we went over those ordinances because we both happen to be in that.
Yeah.
And there is an older ordinance there that once they're put in to the recommendations and the regulations the city requested, and it was paid, and they would refund part of that money, and then they would maintain that system.
Okay, so if a pump, if your pump runs out, who replaces it?
They do.
The city.
Right. And I've been since 1987, and they came just last year, and it's been pumped once. Never before has it ever been pumped. Also, we had the break in the sewer line where we had in the middle of my road because we gave them an easement to come up that road. They didn't even have a line around it to know where to find it. We are lucky that Mr. Miller was still alive at that time, and he came and he found it.
Who put the line in?
City. So
this is the stuff that we're running into, have been running into since we've been here. But maybe your system's fine. You don't have a problem with it. But these systems, there's a big share of them, and I'm not pointing this finger at anybody, a big share of them, they're absolutely not being maintained at all. Just a second, I'll get to you. And they're not being maintained at all, and so what we have here is nothing said until, I'll give you a good example about it. Here 2 weeks ago, we had a call in the middle of the night, a guy's step system quit working. 2 guys went up to his house, there were 17 people there. He had a deck over his step system, which was fine. It was a tall deck, but he had a stack right over the top of his step system, up to the bottom of the deck, he had lumber stacked. So these 2 guys spent 2 hours cleaning out lumber. They got the top off of the step system, pulled it out from under the deck, and where his step pump was hooked up to the line that pushes his gray water into our line, it just came unclamped. So they clamped it up, put the top back on. He said if that step system isn't running, you're going to have to pay, the city's going to be paying for a motel bill for all of our gas. So they put it back on, put the lumber back in, looked at the man hours. We had 6 man hours for 2 men, which is 12 hours at an overtime rate to do that step system thing. And this is the kind of stuff that we've had with a lot of these step systems, and we can't, we can't continue to do step systems at a loss.
We gotta have a regular maintenance thing going on with it.
And we'll have a regular maintenance. If we have, if DEQ comes by and we have to hire somebody to inspect all of our step systems, who's gonna pay for it?
That's the way the ordinance reads back a long time ago. But on the other hand, I've got one right next to me that the power's been turned off and disconnected because they haven't paid the bill. They're living there now, so if there's no power, the sewer isn't running. I mean, the sewer septic system isn't being used. I mean, it's being used, but it isn't being pumped. So, I mean, if we're paying a wastewater now from 30 bucks to 55, we ought to be able to find some money in there to maintain these step systems, to come by and inspect them. We have alarms that go off, and when the alarm goes off, you've got to shut it off. I don't think they have to come out right now. They could come in the morning if it's at midnight. Mine went off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I waited till the next morning. I mean, it wasn't a problem.
Yeah, I also want a step system. I built my house in 2005, and I could only get permitted for a step system. I only use the septic system for my gray water, and my price tag on my sewer bill is exorbitant because I'm assuming that my maintenance is built into my bill.
How much extra do you pay? If you're on a step system, you pay $55 away.
Well, I pay more than that.
Are you outside?
I can go get my bill.
Are you outside city limits?
No, I'm inside city limits.
And you pay more than $55 away?
Betcha.
What's your address?
710 Kings. Kings Avenue.
Okay, Terry, do you have something you want
Well,
to say?
I just thought I might be able to help this a little bit because I know what the intent was in the very beginning, and that was for the city to pull more people onto the sewer system so that the sewer would run more efficiently, and that's how the people that needed a step system were put on the system. And at that time, we signed a contract. Now, I have a copy of the contract that I signed.
Thank you.
And excuse that the bottom and the top is missing. It's a McKay special.
You have to sign this when you put the stuff in.
I'm shy. No, I'm not either. Yes, this was signed, and the reason we had the contract is because an easement was necessary to install the system and maintain and repair the system. And I want to refer you to C, and it says, the undersigned releases the city of Lakeside from all claims necessarily incident to such installation, construction, maintenance, or inspection, and is responsible for repair and maintenance of the sewer line between the structure being served and the septic tank or agreed last point of city maintenance. Now, it also says that if you abuse your system or neglect your system, the city is not responsible.
That's right.
So that would cover the incident that you're talking about. The city would not have been responsible for that. Now I have, in case there was any question at all, I have a notarized statement, or I have a statement from the notary and the city recorder at the time verifying that that was the intent of the contract, was the city would maintain and repair the system.
At the expense of the owners?
No, the city.
The city.
Unless I abuse or neglect my system. Now, at the time, HTE was the engineer, and he recommended that there be a rotating cycle of maintenance on every system. They were to be pumped periodically.
Absolutely.
Hence the rotation. My system has been installed for 21 years. It has been pumped once.
See, and that's what I'm talking about, Terry.
But yeah, but you see, you can't put that on the property owner. The property owners we're already paying an additional $10 in most cases that we